Hey, it's Doug from the Rise Above Gym channel. Today I have 3 half kneeling exercises for you. Let's check them out. First of all, what is a half kneeling exercise? So a half kneeling exercise is when you get into a half kneeling position and perform an exercise. The most common one is going to be some type of press. Now we're going to do the press first, but first I'm going to explain why you would want to do a half kneeling exercise. Half kneeling requires a lot more strength and stability in some cases. You're gonna have to go lighter in weight, but first of all, you don't have this evenness between sides. So one leg is back, one leg is forward. So I have all this space right here where I have to stabilize my core. That's number one. Two is I don't have my legs really to help me out. Yes, when I press, when I show you in a second, I'm gonna use my legs a little bit, but unlike standing where I have everything tucked underneath me and I have my glutes, I can use my legs for stability and tension a little bit more than that half kneeling position. And because of these things, I think it requires someone to focus a little bit more. We can all get a little bit lazy when we're pressing here because we have our legs supported, but maybe we're not tight enough as we could be. Where this one, there's less room for error. I have to be really engaged, tucking everything in, making sure that opposite side is very stable so I don't lose, positioning or, pull a muscle. The first exercise we're gonna do is a press. Now we're getting a half kneeling position, approximately 90-90. If you want a mat for your knee, sometimes that helps out as well. I personally like to press on the side where the leg is forward. You could do the other side, but there is a lot more going on in that position. Also, when we do the second exercise, the windmill, I'm ready to go. So I'll show you that. So first is the press. I'm gonna use both hands to clean it up. I'm gonna make sure my legs are stable. Now you can keep your rear foot toe up if you want a little support, which I like. You can also keep it flat, but you'll be able to use it less in that position. Here, I'm able to use it more. So I'm gonna tighten up and I'm gonna press, bring it down. So I'm really tight in here because I don't wanna lose my tension in my core and I want hip stability and down. So that's pretty much it. The second exercise I have for you today is the windmill. Now, windmill is both a core stabilization exercise as well as a shoulder isometric stabilization exercise. So the shoulder isometric is great for overhead athletes. If you're a pitcher or you play volleyball, or if you're want to do pull-ups or rock climbing, we need to be strong in the shoulder and work those rotator cuff muscles and work that shoulder in its various rotational positions. The stability for the core comes laterally. So we're moving this way. Now in sports, we do lateral things, but a lot of times when we train our core, we train it in this sagittal motion, like a sit-up, or we do it in a very static motion, which is like a plank. But in sports and athletics, even skiing and things like that, you're moving around, so you want to train in that rotational and kind of lateral position. So again, I'm going to clean my bell up. I'll face a little bit more this way. I'll press my bell up, lock my shoulder down. I'm going to rotate my rear leg into a triangle so I have a better base of support. I'm going to touch my hip here. I'm going to try to keep my hip from sinking, So I'm not going to drop like this. I'm going to keep my hip up, find the floor, and then I'm going to tighten my core and come back to the middle. Again, find the floor. You can use your leg if you want to. I'm going outward. Ideally, I have a nice straight line between my hand and the hand on the floor. Tighten up my core, and then come back up, and then back in. You don't want to go backwards on this one. We want to go straight out, keeping the hip up, using the core and the glutes on the way up. The third exercise I have for you is going to be a pure rotational exercise. So you can use a band like I am, or if you're at a commercial gym, you can use a cable machine if they have that. If you're going to use the band, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this outside leg up. You can do the inside leg out, but when I rotate away from the leg, there's less stability. So I want a little more stability. There's no right or wrong. Do it both ways. See what you like. We're going to press the band out, and I'm going to press here a little bit more with my right arm so I get a little bit more stability. And then I'm going to rotate, and then I'm controlling back. And again, I don't have my legs and hips helping me out, so it's a lot harder to do this movement. So it's purely from the torso and the core. The other thing I'm doing, I like the band because the band's gonna wanna pull me back. I wanna resist that anti-rotation training. So I'm really learning to decelerate my body. So if you're a pitcher or a golfer, hitting the ball, throwing the ball, you gotta learn to slow your body down because you're putting in a lot of force through those movements. If you do not know how to slow your body down very well and it cannot absorb that force, that's when injuries happen to the obliques and the low back, even the joints of the low back. So this is a good one to do for those movements and to train those. So I want to thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please like it down below. Also consider subscribing as I put a new video out about every week. If you have any suggestions for things like exercises or things you want me to show, put them down in the comments. Thanks again, good luck training, and we'll see you next time.